Chosen one, listen closely. This message is meant to steady you, not startle you. What felt like silence is ending, and what looked like delay is being reframed as preparation. The weight you have carried is acknowledged. The nights you questioned your purpose were not ignored. The pauses that frustrated you were groundwork for a season that requires depth, not speed. Think of it as foundations set below the surface, unseen but essential for what rises next. If you want to claim what is opening, align your choices with what you say you value. Alignment is not a feeling. It is a decision you repeat when emotions swing and circumstances shift. You are stepping out of guessing and into clarity. Clarity does not mean every detail is visible. It means the next step is honest and the direction is consistent with what matters most. The fog that made everything feel complicated begins to lift when you stop negotiating with distractions. That is the turning point now. You are not being asked to be perfect. You are being asked to be available, attentive, and sincere. When you move with that posture, guidance becomes easier to recognize. You notice the nudge that says pause, the inner caution that says, not this deal, not this partnership, not this conversation. Your intuition sharpens when your motives are clean. The delays you called detours were, in many cases, protection. Doors that would have pulled you into compromise closed to save you time and integrity. Not every no is rejection. Many are redirection to timing that does not collapse under pressure. Strong structures are not built on shallow ground. The discomfort of waiting was the excavation required to hold what comes next. Depth was being formed in you. Quiet strength, better judgment, and a steadier voice. These are not glamorous traits, but they keep you from crumbling when attention arrives. This is a season of straightforward communication. It is less about hints and more about direction. When you make space to listen, through stillness, reflection, honest prayer, you receive simple instructions that are practical rather than abstract. Reach out to this person. Decline that request. Finish the commitment you postponed. Fix what you can. Release what consumes you for no return. Small, consistent steps will do more for you over the next stretch than any dramatic leap. You are not racing anyone. You are building something that needs to last. Over the next 10 days, approach each day as a door. You do not need to force anything open. You assess the door in front of you, act on what is clear, and leave the rest alone. On the first day, focus on identity. Reintroduce yourself to yourself without the noise of past labels. You are not the failures you remember or the opinions you absorbed. You are the one who kept moving when you could have stopped. That resilience is the blueprint worth trusting. Notice how different choices feel when you make them from that place of dignity. The confidence that returns is not arrogance. It is a settled sense of who you are and what you will not trade away. From the second day through the fifth, emphasize action, not frantic activity, but deliberate movement. Respond to the email you have avoided. Send the proposal you finished, but never shared. Register for the training that strengthens your craft. Clean your environment so you can think. These are unglamorous choices that unlock progress you can measure. They also reduce room for confusion because nothing clarifies priority like committing to it on your calendar. Action shrinks fear. When you move, even in small ways, your mind stops rehearsing worst-case scenarios and starts collecting proof that focus works. Pay attention to your nights as much as your days. Rest is not inactivity. It is strategy. A rested mind sees patterns faster and solves problems with less effort. Keep a notebook by your bed. Capture the ideas that arrive when your guard is down. Some insights will be corrections. Others will be confirmations. Both are valuable. You do not need long speeches from the sky to know what to do next. Often a single sentence, written in the dark and read in the morning, is enough to set the tone for the day. The final 3 days of this 10-day cycle will be about consolidation. Insights begin to connect. Instructions become more specific. People enter your awareness who make sense for where you are going, not where you were. Treat these days as a quiet briefing for the next stretch. Do not overshare. Protect what is forming until it has roots. The right conversations will happen at the right time, and urgency will come from clarity, not panic. You may have noticed a simple mark in your palm and wondered if it means anything. You do not have to attach mystical weight to it. Let it be a reminder rather than a superstition. Treat it as a personal cue for mission, discipline, and follow-through. When you see it, check your posture. Am I acting like my time matters? Am I saying yes to what strengthens me and no to what empties me? Am I moving with purpose or drifting with noise? Symbols are useful when they lead to action. Expect to feel a shift in how you carry yourself. People will respond to steadiness. You will not need to announce yourself. Consistency speaks louder than claims. Rooms that once felt closed may feel less resistant. Conversations will slow when you enter because presence communicates more than talk. This is not about superiority. It is about alignment. When your choices line up with your purpose, you stop chasing and start attracting what already matches you. Resistance will surface as soon as you turn the corner. Old patterns test new boundaries. Old expectations return disguised as opportunities. Some people will reappear with friendly words and old dynamics. Notice how your body responds. The tightness in your chest when a request crosses a boundary. The unease in your stomach when an offer asks you to be a smaller version of yourself. The urge to over-explain when you feel guilty for saying no. These signals are information. Respect them. You are not obligated to repeat what exhausted you. This is the difference between being guided and being led. Guidance gives you signs and suggestions. Leadership goes ahead of you. In this season, stop asking for 1,000 signals you ignore and start following the one direction you trust. You will not know everything, and you do not need to. Peace is your compass. If an option requires you to betray your non-negotiables, it is not yours. If an option fits your values and stretches your capacity without erasing your health, consider it seriously. When you encounter ease, do not mistrust it out of habit. Ease is not laziness. It is the outcome of alignment. Work still takes effort, but effort is no longer war. Momentum builds because you stopped leaking energy on arguments you cannot win and obligations you did not choose. Ease shows up as smoother conversations, quicker decisions, and fewer apologies for being who you are. It feels unfamiliar at first because struggle has been your teacher. Accept the upgrade without looking for problems to prove you are working hard. As you rise, envy may surface around you. Recognize it without resentment. You do not need to shrink to avoid criticism or puff up to silence it. Stay factual. Deliver what you say you will deliver. Keep records. Document agreements. Do not feed whisper networks with your attention. Most of what seeks to distract you cannot survive your consistency. Focus is a filter that protects your energy. Be practical about opportunities that look golden. Some will be genuine openings that fit your mission. Others will be bait that looks polished and costs too much. Test offers with simple questions. Does this align with my purpose? Does it pay what my work is worth? Does it help the people I serve? Will I be proud of this 6 months from now? If you cannot answer yes with a calm mind, wait. Patience is a competitive advantage in a culture that confuses speed with wisdom. Money will follow clarity and discipline. Provision is not random. It gathers where trust is visible. Finish your invoices. Price your work honestly. Deliver on time. Pay people you owe without being chased. Keep your financial promises to yourself. These choices are not glamorous, but they are magnets for sustainable opportunity. When resources arrive, allocate with intention. Cover essentials. Invest in growth. Give where you feel led. And avoid impressive-looking expenses that do nothing for your mission. Healing is part of this shift. Physical fatigue, mental noise, and emotional bruises do not disappear because you decide to be strong. They ease because you change how you live. You stop saying yes to pain out of habit. You update routines that drain you. You speak with people who tell you the truth kindly. You let go of resentment before it hardens. Recovery is not instant, but it is measurable. Notice subtle progress. longer stretches of calm, fewer spirals after setbacks, a quicker return to center. These are signs of strength, not signs that you never struggle. You will receive answers to questions you did not think to ask. Solutions to problems often sit outside the frame you are staring at. When you stop fixating on one method, alternatives appear. Be willing to change your approach without changing your principles. Flexible methods with firm values are a formula for long-term progress. If a plan fails, it is a signal to adapt, not a verdict on your identity. Your choices will affect more than you. Patterns that run through families and communities often continue because no one sets a new standard. When you choose integrity over convenience, consistency over performance, honesty over applause, you interrupt cycles that harm others as well. You will not see all the results immediately, but the impact is real. Measure success not only by personal milestones, but by the healthier patterns you leave behind. As momentum builds, life may speed up. Timelines compress. Projects move faster. Meetings stack. This can be invigorating or overwhelming depending on how you manage your capacity. Protect your calendar with intention. Keep white space for thinking and rest. Decline obligations that do not serve your mission. Put your focus blocks on the calendar like appointments with yourself. You are not a machine. You are a person with limits that deserve respect. New rooms will open. Walk in with steady humility. Introduce yourself without performance. Listen more than you speak at first. When you contribute, be clear and concise. Your reputation will be built by what you bring, how you treat people, and how reliably you follow through. When you do not know something, say so. When you need help, ask early, not when a small issue has turned into a crisis. Collaboration is not weakness. It multiplies effect. Connections will arrive that feel timely. Not every friendly face is meant for your inner circle, and not every challenging voice is an enemy. Discernment keeps you balanced. Choose mentors who are where you are headed, not only where you are comfortable. Choose peers who tell you the truth and celebrate your wins without keeping score. Choose partners who share values and honor agreements. Relationships that are aligned will accelerate you. Relationships built on flattery or convenience will drain you. If you have been careless in the past, do not collapse under regret. Make amends where you can. Learn the lesson and strengthen your guardrails. Carelessness is usually the result of fatigue, fear, or the desire to impress. Address the root, not only the behavior. Build habits that protect you when you are tired. Keep a short list of non-negotiables you do not break. Ask a trusted person to hold you accountable. The goal is not to become rigid. It is to become reliable. You may notice your voice growing stronger. Use it responsibly. Speak to inform, encourage, and clarify, less to shock or score points. Choose substance over noise. Share what you have learned without exaggeration. People respond to precision because it respects their time. If your words shift a room, make sure they shift it toward what is true and useful. Peace will become a practical tool, not just a concept. It shows up as calm in negotiations, patience in traffic, and steadiness when someone tries to bait you into drama. Peace is not passivity. It is controlled strength. It keeps you from making expensive decisions under pressure. It allows you to hear the important thing inside the loud thing. Guard it like an asset. You do not have to attend every argument you are invited to, and you do not have to solve every problem presented to you. Choose your battles by impact, not by impulse. Honor matters. Treat people well when you gain nothing from it. Credit others publicly. Correct in private. Pay fairly. Deliver what you promised even when circumstances have changed, and renegotiate transparently when you cannot. These simple practices separate you in rooms where reputation travels faster than you do. Influence sustained by honor endures. Influence built on spectacle evaporates. Your past pain is not a label. It is a library. Visit it to learn, not to live there. The lessons you pulled from hardship translate into empathy, stamina, and clear boundaries. They help you lead with humanity when pressure rises. They help you spot traps early. They make you patient with those who are still finding their footing. Let your story be a bridge for others, not a burden you carry forever. Restoration is on the table. It will not simply recreate the past, it will reshape the future. What broke will be rebuilt with better materials, wisdom, humility, and process. You will be trusted again as you demonstrate trustworthiness again. Trust is not a gift owed to you. It is a result of consistent truth over time. If you lose it, you can rebuild. If you have it, protect it. As visibility increases, so does responsibility. The more people your work reaches, the more careful you must be with what you claim and what you model. Choose accuracy over virality. Choose patience over spectacle. Choose decisions you can explain in daylight. If you are unsure, pause. Silence is better than noise you regret. You will be mentioned in rooms you have not entered. Opportunities will be discussed before they are offered to you. Resist the urge to chase rumors. Stay busy doing the work you can control. The right doors will open when both the timing and your capacity line up. When they do, step through with courage. Prepare for them now by sharpening your skills, clarifying your message, and organizing your life. Provision will meet purpose. The resources you need will attach to the assignment you carry when you handle what you have with care. Keep records. Build simple systems. Document your processes so you can scale without chaos. Generosity grows when you steward well. Give with a clear heart and a clear plan. Support what aligns with your values, not what buys you approval. All of this is movement from uncertainty to steadiness. You are not behind. You are on time for the person you are becoming. Keep your steps simple and consistent. Guard your energy. Tell the truth kindly. Do your work well. When you do, the next step keeps appearing, and the next, and the next. You do not need fireworks to prove momentum. You need proof. Finished tasks, better choices, stronger relationships, a calmer mind. Chosen one. The conversation is open now. The silence has lifted. You know enough to begin, and beginning is the only way to see the rest. Continue with a clear head and a steady heart. What was heavy starts to feel lighter when carried with intention. What seemed impossible becomes a series of manageable steps. What felt delayed reveals itself as right on schedule. Hold this posture, and you will recognize the right doors as they appear. In the next part, we will move from this foundation into the practical rhythm of carrying acceleration, handling new rooms with integrity, and sustaining expansion without losing yourself. Chosen one. We continue from where you stand now, calm, aware, and ready to act without noise. Acceleration has started to find you, and the task ahead is to carry it with clarity. Speed without structure turns into chaos. Speed with structure turns into progress. Build a rhythm that protects your focus and keeps your values at the center of everything you touch. Your routine does not need to be complicated. It needs to be honest. Anchor each day with 3 essentials: time to think, time to build, and time to restore. Thinking clarifies, building compounds, restoring sustains. When any one of these goes missing, momentum stalls or becomes costly. Start your mornings by checking direction rather than checking distractions. Before other voices set your agenda, ask yourself one question. What single decision today would make the rest of the week lighter? Then do the part you control in the next hour. The small, brave act at the beginning of the day often dissolves the biggest knot. Keep a short written list, no more than 5 items, that directly support your mission. Finish the one that changes real outcomes first, not the one that is quick or gratifying. When you complete it, cross it out with a simple line and move on. That quiet streak of finished work becomes evidence you can trust when feelings wobble. Respect transitions. The minutes between tasks are where most people lose energy by aimless scrolling and scattered conversations. Use those minutes to breathe, stretch, or capture a quick note about what you just learned. Treat your attention like a budget. Spend it where returns are highest and stop paying interest on worry. If something is outside your control, document the dependency, set a reminder, and step away until it returns to your court. Release the illusion that hovering makes things move faster. As new rooms open, enter them with the same steadiness you practiced in smaller spaces. Your edge is not volume, it is clarity. Say what you know, ask what you do not. Make one promise at a time and honor it. If you are offered an opportunity that does not fit, decline with respect and without apology. You do not owe anyone a performance to earn your seat. You owe the work the best of you. Influence that is anchored in substance does not need constant defense. It stands because it is useful. Guardrails matter more than slogans. Write your non-negotiables in plain language where you can see them. What you will not sacrifice, how you will treat people, what you refuse to hide. When a tempting shortcut appears, read those sentences again. If saying yes means betraying any of them, it is not a yes. It is an accident waiting to happen. Integrity is not an abstract virtue. It is a daily practice of making the honest choice while no one claps. The reward is sleep you don't have to escape from and results you don't have to explain. Your calendar is not just a list of events. It is your strategy in visible form. Place your most demanding work where your energy is strongest. Put recurring blocks for recovery on the same level of importance as meetings. Treat preparation as part of the job, not an optional extra. A few minutes before a call, review the purpose, the decision you hope to reach, and the facts that matter. A few minutes after, record outcomes and next steps. Good notes are an invisible ally. Your future self will thank you for the clarity. Communicate with precision. Long messages often hide unclear thinking. Before you speak or send, ask yourself what the other person needs to know to move forward. Offer the context, present the options, state your recommendation, and ask for a decision or deadline. Keep a respectful tone even under pressure. People remember how you made them feel while solving problems together. If tension rises, slow the pace, return to the facts, and find the next workable step. The fastest way to de-escalate a situation is to demonstrate that progress is possible without theatrics. Expect feedback and invite it early. You do not need praise to continue, but you do need information to improve. Ask the simple questions: what worked, what missed, and what would make this easier next time? Listen to patterns more than isolated opinions. When you hear repetition from credible voices, adapt. When you hear noise without substance, thank the speaker for their view and keep moving. Confidence is not stubbornness. It is the ability to adjust without losing direction. Money will arrive with decisions attached. Align it with your mission before it starts to pull you sideways. Divide income into clear purposes: operations, growth, giving, and reserves. Pay your obligations on time. Automate what can be automated. Review spending monthly with the same honesty you expect from others. If something no longer serves the work, cut it without guilt. If a tool or person is making your results better, invest with intention rather than apology. Money is a servant in your life. When it becomes a master, your choices narrow and your peace thins. Take care of your body without waiting for a crisis to force you. Eat in ways that fuel consistent energy. Move daily, even if briefly, so stress has some place to go. Sleep enough that you can think clearly and respond rather than react. Hydration and sunlight are not glamorous strategies, but they stabilize mood, improve focus, and lengthen your fuse. A calm nervous system is a competitive advantage in any field. When your body signals overload, tight jaws, clenched shoulders, shallow breaths, tend to it before you tend to anyone else's urgency. Boundaries will continue to be tested, especially by familiar faces. Practice simple sentences that protect your energy without inviting debate. I can't commit to that. That doesn't fit my priorities right now. I appreciate the invite, and I'm going to pass. Thank you for thinking of me, but that's a no. You do not need a paragraph to justify a healthy choice. People who benefit from your overextension may complain. Let discomfort pass without chasing it. Their reactions are information about their expectations, not a verdict on your worth. Team and community are the multipliers of your next season. Choose collaborators by character first and by skill a close second. Skills can be taught. Values are revealed under pressure. In early conversations, ask about how they handle mistakes, how they prefer to receive feedback, and what they do when they don't know. Notice whether they speak about previous partners with respect. Hire slowly enough to see consistency, and onboard thoughtfully so people know what success looks like. Clarity at the start prevents conflict later. Create simple systems that free your mind from repetitive decisions. Use templates for common messages. Standardize your file names. Keep checklists for launches, events, and closing out projects. Document once, improve over time, and share with your team so no one has to invent the wheel in a rush. Systems are not bureaucracy. They are kindness to your future self and relief for those who work with you. They reduce reliance on memory when pressure peaks. Your learning loop should be continuous and focused. Gather inputs from books, mentors, and lived experience, but prune what you do not need. Information overload masquerades as progress. Choose a theme for each quarter: communication, leadership, finance, craft, and study it deeply. Practice as you learn. The fastest way to internalize a principle is to apply it to a real decision. If a lesson doesn't hold under pressure, refine it or discard it. Knowledge that doesn't help you act is decoration. Crisis will visit, but it does not have to rule. When something breaks, address safety first, then facts, then accountability. Separate people from problems while you fix the issue. Once stability returns, review what failed, document the causes, and design a safeguard. Resist public blame and private avoidance. The habit of facing hard things quickly keeps small fires from becoming front-page disasters. When you are at fault, say so plainly, repair what you can, and move forward with proof that you learned. As your voice grows, you will be asked for opinions on everything. Choose your lanes. Speak where you have expertise or direct responsibility. When asked outside those lanes, you can say you are still learning or that you prefer to listen. Silence, used well, is not absence. It is respect for complexity and for the people closest to the issue. When you do speak, be measured. Offer what you know, share the sources, and acknowledge uncertainty. Trust builds when you do not pretend. Your story is a tool, not a trap. Share it to encourage, not to perform. The details that help others take the next step are worth telling. The details that reopen wounds without adding wisdom can stay private. Practice the discipline of enough. Enough context to be helpful. Enough vulnerability to be human. Enough restraint to remain whole. The purpose is not to center yourself. It is to serve the moment with what you have learned. When recognition arrives, carry it lightly. Let gratitude ground you. Thank the people who carried you when results were thin. Not only the ones who celebrate now. Use attention to highlight your team, your partners, and the principles that made the work possible. Make room on the stage for others. The easiest way to keep your ego in scale is to keep making the work better. Craft outlives applause. Keep your private world in order. The atmosphere of your home and your workspace affects your judgment more than you realize. Clean surfaces reduce friction. Organized files save hours. Warm light and quiet music can transform a tense afternoon. Post reminders of your values where you will see them when you are tired. If conflict erupts in your closest relationships, address it gently and directly. Clarity is kindness. Rescue what can be reconciled, release what must end, and refuse to let hidden resentments poison your focus. You will continue to see signs of alignment. Recurring themes in your reading, timely introductions, ideas landing with ease. Treat them as encouragement, not instructions to abandon process. Confirmation should strengthen diligence, not replace it. The best proof that you are on course is not a feeling. It is the consistent emergence of results that match your stated priorities. Look at the data of your life: completed projects, satisfied clients, improved health, deeper relationships. Let metrics and meaning agree. Plan for generosity, not just achievement. Decide in advance what percentage of your time or income you will give and to whom. Support work that aligns with your values and empowers, rather than creates dependency. Generosity clarifies what kind of person you intend to be at every level of success. It prevents scarcity from ruling your choices and turns resources into instruments of good beyond your immediate circle. Revisit your boundaries as you grow. What was once a stretch may become standard. What used to be acceptable may now be a distraction. Update your agreements with yourself. You are allowed to change your mind when new information arrives. You are allowed to refine goals based on what you learn in the field, rather than what sounded impressive in private. The aim is not to be rigid. The aim is to be true. Make room for celebration. Do not rush past milestones as if they were accidents. Mark them with a meal, a walk, a note to your future self. Gratitude keeps the heart soft and the perspective accurate. Success without gratitude becomes entitlement. Success with gratitude becomes fuel. When setbacks occur, and they will, treat them as tuition, not identity. Name the lesson, adjust your system, and re-enter the work without self-contempt. Mentorship will multiply your growth. Find people whose results you respect and whose lives off-stage resemble the values they preach. Serve before you seek favors. Ask a precise question rather than a vague request for time. Implement what they suggest and report back with outcomes. You will either receive deeper guidance or learn that the fit is not right. Both save time. Likewise, mentor those a step behind you. Teaching refines your thinking and deepens your empathy. Creativity thrives in constraints. Give your projects clear edges, time limits, resource limits, and audience definitions. Boundaries focus brilliance. When you feel stuck, reduce complexity. Return to the core problem your work solves. Strip away ornament until the message cuts cleanly through noise. Then deliver with consistency. Most breakthroughs are steady improvements dressed too plainly to be recognized in the moment. Protect your name. A reputation is slow to build and fast to fracture. Keep your promises, especially the small ones. Answer messages you said you would answer. Show up on time. If you will miss a deadline, communicate early with a revised plan. Document agreements in writing. These habits are quiet shields. They preserve trust when misunderstandings arise and keep gossip from taking root. As opportunities scale, so will your need for rest. Schedule time off like you schedule a launch. Do not wait for exhaustion to demand it. Step away before you are depleted, and you will return with ideas rather than resentment. While you rest, truly rest. Let your mind recover from constant input. Walk, read for pleasure, sit in stillness, or spend time with people who expect nothing from you. Rest is not a reward for finishing. It is equipment for continuing. Be prepared to say no to good things so you can say yes to the right things. The hardest choices in this season will not be between bad and good, but between good and best. Use your mission as the filter. If an opportunity spreads you thin or complicates your life more than it advances your purpose, let it pass. Space is essential for the next correct step to appear. Overbooked calendars numb intuition. Develop a practice of weekly review. Take 30 to 60 minutes to look at your commitments, your progress, and your energy. Ask what moved the mission forward, what drained you, and what needs to change. Adjust your upcoming week accordingly. This ritual prevents drift and keeps you aligned with your larger direction. Monthly, step back further. Evaluate metrics that matter: quality, impact, revenue, health, learning. Set one focus for the next month that would make everything else simpler. When conflict emerges in partnerships, assume misalignment before malice. Clarify expectations. Restate agreements. Put next steps in writing. If the relationship must end it cleanly with documentation that honors the work done together. Your future reputation will thank you for handling endings as carefully as beginnings. Burning bridges is an expensive habit. Building doors is a wiser one. Cultivate quiet courage. You will be asked to make choices that cannot be crowdsourced, choices that cost comfort in exchange for integrity. Choose in favor of the person you want to be in 5 years, not the applause available in 5 minutes. When fear rises, shrink the decision to the next faithful step. Courage rarely feels spectacular from the inside. It feels like calm insistence on what you know is true. As your territory expands, so will the diversity of people you serve. Learn to communicate across backgrounds with respect. Ask questions before offering solutions. Avoid assumptions. If you cause harm, apologize without defensiveness and make it right. Humility is not self-erasure. It is the openness that keeps you growing while you lead. Technology will attempt to rule your attention. Let it serve instead. Design notifications that support your priorities. Batch your communication windows. Keep your creative tools simple until complexity is required. Back up your work. Use calendars and task managers to externalize commitments so your mind is free to think. The best system is the one you use consistently, not the fanciest one you admire. Keep a portfolio of proof. Save notes from clients, screenshots of milestones, before and after examples, and data that verifies outcomes. In uncertain moments, review this archive to recalibrate your perspective. It is harder to believe lies about your capacity when you are looking at receipts from your growth. Your faith, expressed through prayer, reflection, and quiet trust, will remain the stabilizing layer under everything. You do not have to announce it to validate it. Live it by how you treat people, how you handle pressure, how you tell the truth, and how you forgive. When you need direction, bring the decision into silence and ask for wisdom. Often, the right choice is the one that leaves your spirit settled, even if it asks more of you. You will face invitations to hurry. Remember, urgency from insight is useful. Urgency from fear is manipulation. If someone demands an immediate answer to a complex decision, the answer is no until you have the time to think. Pressure that punishes reflection creates regret. Protect your right to pause. Simplicity is strength. You do not need 20 priorities. You need a clear mission, a few repeatable behaviors, and the discipline to keep doing them when boredom arrives. Mastery is built in the unglamorous middle, where you show up, refine, and deliver without needing constant novelty. Let others chase trends while you build something that works. You are not here to hoard progress. You are here to multiply it. Teach what you can. Share tools that helped you. Credit the sources that shaped you. Support others rising alongside you. Collaboration does not dilute your influence. It deepens your impact. Return often to gratitude. It rights the scale when success feels heavy and when struggle feels endless. Name what is good out loud. Thank the people who made your life better by simply being in it. Gratitude makes you generous, and generosity makes the journey lighter. Chosen one. This is how you carry acceleration without losing yourself. Define your values. Design your days. Decide with calm. Deliver with care. And defend your peace. Keep your word. Keep learning. Keep your circle honest and your work useful. Each step you take from this posture turns possibility into proof. The doors will continue to open at the right time. Walk through them with a clear head and a steady heart. You do not need spectacle. You need consistency. You do not need to chase. What matches you will find you when you are easy to find. Aligned, available, and ready. The silence has ended. The map is simple, and the next step is in front of you. Take it, then take the next. Your life will show the results of these choices in ways that require no explanation. And when you look back, you will see that the pace you once feared was never meant to break you. It was meant to bring you home to the person you were always becoming.